A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Here is Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Friday was Student Government Day, a day upon which the entire administration of the city is handed over to high school pupils who have been elected by their classmates. Well, ordinarily, our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, would have very little to do with this event.
But unfortunately, Miss Johnson, the civics teacher, took ill on Thursday, and our principal, Mr. Conklin, suggested that I take over her class. Of course, I didn't have to accept the assignment. I just figured that teaching is better than being totally unemployed. In some states, it's better. At any rate, I conducted Miss Johnson's civics class on Thursday, and on the subject, what would I do if I held public office, the class and I had quite a spirited discussion. And in view of later developments, I'm sorry I didn't listen. But Friday morning finally rolled around, and the entire student body and faculty gathered in the assembly hall to hear Mr. Conklin officially proclaim it Student Government Day. Mr. Boynton, my bashful biologist, was sitting in the front row, and accidentally, with the aid of two bloodhounds, I found myself sitting right next to him.
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks.
Why, Mr. Boynton, this is a surprise. To you, anyway.
I didn't see you sit down. I believe I left my notebook on that seat. It is just some lecture notes on the North American porcupine.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Boynton. I didn't even notice it. He must have pulled in his quills. Here you are.
Oh, thanks. I'll just hold it in my lap.
Why don't we let the notebook have the seat and you could hold... No, not in school like that.
You know, Miss Brooks, something just occurred to me. We're always sitting next to each other in assembly. Fate seems to be throwing us together.
Compared to my throwing, fate is a sandlot pitcher. But perhaps you're right, Mr. Boynton. Maybe we should give fate a helping hand. I'm free for lunch today. How about you? Or would you rather ask me? Or am I being too subtle? Oh, darn that bell. I'll have to get him in the next round.
Students, faculty members, and honored guests. First of all, as your principal, I would like to announce that because this is Student Government Day, school will be suspended. Please. I sympathize with your disappointment. As you know, Student Government Day has been tried successfully in many other communities, and I have always been ready to experiment in any progressive plan to foster good citizenship. That is why you see before you on this platform our honored guest, Mayor Remsen. Now, Mayor Remsen, would you care to say a few words?
Of course not. He only brought those 9 pages along to put his gum in.
Thank you, Mr. Conklin, for your generous introduction. As I look out upon this ocean of young, eager, intelligent faces, a tide of emotion swells up in me.
I'm getting a little seasick myself.
And as I think of the glorious future which this community can look forward to at the hands of these youths, I am deeply touched. I have always been well informed on the affairs of young people.
He ought to be. He's kissed so many babies you can't see his tie for the pablum.
And so it is with considerable pride that I now inaugurate for the first time in this community Student Government Day. Therefore, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you your duly elected mayor, Miss Harriet Conklin.
You may applaud now.
Thank you. My constituents, friends, and Mayor Remsen, I intend to show this community something new and different by making my term of office a clean and honest administration.
Well, now...
We will not tolerate graft and corruption.
We know.
Thank you, Harriet Conklin.
As Miss way. The racketeers must go, no matter what politician is protecting them.
Oh, that Miss Brooks certainly is a card.
That will be all, Harriet.
Did you really say that in civics class?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Mayor Remsen, allow me to apologize for my daughter's enthusiasm. She was obviously referring to the aims of city government in general, without realizing that those aims have already been attained in our community.
Gosh. And now, it is my extreme pleasure to introduce the student who has been elected your chief of police, Walter Denton.
Thank you, friends. As your incumbent police chief, I cannot re-emphasize too forcefully the remarks Miss Brooks made in civics class yesterday. To wit, every crook and grafter who has been mulching the city treasury of funds has got...
Thank you, Chief of Police Walter Denton.
I haven't finished my speech.
Oh, yes, you have, Denton.
Mr. Conklin, as Miss Brooks said just yesterday...
This is not a symposium on the memoirs of Miss Brooks. Or maybe it is. Miss Brooks, you here?
No, I couldn't make it today.
What's that? Oh, there you are. Before we go any further, isn't there something you'd like to say?
Yes, sir. Is there a doctor in the house? You sent for me, Mr. Conklin?
Yes, Miss Brooks, I did. In spite of my abject apologies, Mayor Remsen left here in a very ugly mood. Now, Miss Brooks, just what happened in civics class yesterday?
Well, we had an open discussion, and somebody opened it wider than I realized. But we only discussed corrupt city administrations in general, Mr. Conklin. We made no specific mention of Mayor Remsen's corrupt administration.
Never mind what you mean. Thanks to you, we've got a band of young malcontents on our hands. Why, not 5 minutes ago, a student delegation was in here demanding a 3-day school week. And that's not all. They also informed me that they would like a 4-hour day, starting from the moment they leave home till the moment they arrive back there. And portal to portal.
Next thing you know, they'll be wanting time and a half for leaving the room.
There's no telling how far this thing can go. They've got the whip hand. They're in public office today. Student Government Day indeed. Whoever thought up that crack-brained idea ought to have his head examined.
Bend over, Mr. Conklin. It was your idea.
Oh, well, don't change the subject. There's no telling. As I was saying, there's no telling what that student reform party is capable of doing. Miss Brooks, it's up to you to see that they stay out of mischief.
But, Mr. Conklin, you said this was a holiday, and I've got a very important lunch date to make.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Brooks. You've got to chaperone those students.
But, Mr. Conklin...
Dismissed,
But,
Miss Brooks. I said fall out. On the double.
Aye, sir. Fine way to spend a holiday, chaperoning a bunch of... What am I running about? I'm halfway down the hall. Oh, that's funny. I stopped right outside Mr. Boynton's biology lab. Well, I might as well go in now that I'm here.
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks. Say, I hope Mr. Conklin wasn't too severe with you.
Not at all, Mr. Boynton. How are you at setting bones? And speaking of lunch, which you weren't, the date we almost had but didn't quite because you didn't get around to asking me, and which I was going to talk you into, but which I would have had to cancel because Mr. Conklin wants me to chaperone the students who are acting as government officials today.
Oh, just a minute, Miss Brooks. I can't quite follow you.
Me either, Mr. Boynton. I suppose I'm trying to apologize for standing you up.
When?
Today.
You were supposed to have lunch with me today?
How nice of you to ask me. Shall we say those front steps in 15 minutes?
Oh, but...
I just want to powder my nose and fix up a bit.
But you said something about chaperoning the...
Oh, that can wait till after lunch. See you in a little while, Mr. Boynton. I wonder if I'm playing too hard to get. Now, if I can just avoid Her Honor the Mayor and Walter Denton.
Walter, there's Miss Brooks.
Hey, Miss Brooks, we've been looking for you.
I've been lurking from you, too.
Miss Brooks, as mayor of this community, I I feel that I have you to thank for many of my high ideals.
Me too, Miss Brooks. When you stood up in civics class yesterday with a kind of glowing, luminous light emanating from your skull and your chalk poised in front of the blackboard, you know who you reminded me of?
Joan of Arc at the Battle of the Erasers. Look, kid, I promised Mr. Conklin I'd chaperone you today, but I
Wonderful, Miss Brooks. We're really going to clean up this town.
You have no idea what's going on in this town, Miss Brooks. If you'll just stick with us, we'll show you graft and corruption, infamy and greed.
I'd rather have Mr. Boynton show me spaghetti and meatballs. Now, if you'll just keep quiet about it, I'll meet Mr. Boynton for lunch.
Lunch? But what about the ideas of decent, honest government that you had yesterday?
Yeah, and don't you want to be in it to kill?
Who are we killing?
I'm afraid we'll have to take an executive action, Walter.
Right. Miss Brooks, I assume you still believe in obedience to duly elected authority?
Of course I do, Walter.
Then, as chief of police, I hereby appoint you deputy sheriff. For the rest of the day, Miss Brooks, you'll take orders from me.
But, Walter...
Silence?
Oui, mon capitaine.
Here, with this badge, I hereby make you a deputy sheriff.
Look, Walter, to you I'm a deputy sheriff, and to Harriet I'm a deputy sheriff. But to a deputy sheriff, am I a deputy sheriff? You'd better pull over, Walter.
Why, Miss Brooks? Oh, the siren. No, that's on our car. I put it on this morning.
I don't want to see insubordinate, Chief, but just where are we going?
To the Jackpot Amusement Company's warehouse.
We've been watching the place for weeks, Miss Brooks, in preparation for today. And we've seen truckloads of slot machines delivered there.
Slot machines?
Sure. The kind they put in the back of candy stores where little school kids can spend their lunch money in a futile effort to get rich quick.
You know, where you pull a lever and try to hit as many bumpers as possible.
Oh, the game I play in my car.
Bad. It's the one-armed bandits that keep the kids broke. Oh, they're all fixed.
Fixed?
Sure. If a machine pays back more than 5 cents on the dollar, they break its arm.
Here we are, the Jackpot Amusement Company.
What are we going to do here?
We're going to raid the place.
We three?
No, there's another bunch of kids coming any minute. You see, the fire commissioner had to go home and change his pants. He tore him sliding down the pole at the firehouse. Well, are you all ready, men?
Speaking for some of us men, no.
Now, when I blow my police whistle, we'll charge.
Sorry, I don't have an account here.
Let's go.
I'm with you, Walter.
Oh, now, Walter, Harriet, listen. Let's go to a movie.
Open up in the name of the law. Are you going to open up, or do we have to break it in?
Walter, please.
Stand in back of Miss Brooks, Harriet.
Oh, fine. Now they're going to use me for a battering ram.
What's going on out here?
Trick or treat.
What's that?
Are you one of the employees of the Jackpot Amusement Company?
What if I am?
You're under arrest.
What?
Miss Brooks, you're a deputy sheriff. Arrest this man.
Pull over to the curb, bud.
Look, lady, I'm a busy man. Why don't you just take your kids over to the playground and shove them down a sharp slide? Now beat it.
Oh, resisting arrest, eh? This may go hard with you, my good man.
What's going on here? Who blew the police whistle?
I did. Officer, arrest this man.
What did he do? He tried to get fresh with you, lady.
No, and that's the story of my life.
And what do you want him arrested for?
Yours not to reason why. As your chief of police, I gave an order. Your duty is to obey.
How does that go again, Sonny?
You heard him, officer. As mayor, I decree that you arrest this individual.
Now, let me get this straight. You're the mayor, and he's the chief of police. Ah. Who are you, lady?
I'm Joan of Arc, and stop breathing on my armor.
I do not wish to be rude, but I have to go in now. You see, I am Little Miss Muffet, and I have to go sit on my tuffet for a while.
This is your last chance, officer. Arrest that man in there, or tomorrow you'll I'll be pounding a beat in a swamp.
Oh, pounding a beat in the swamp, is it?
Do you realize this is insubordination?
Oh, insubordination, is it?
You've just got to arrest that man.
Oh, arrest that man, is it?
This is getting monotonous, was it?
Well, why don't you all run along and we'll forget about the whole thing?
Oh, that settles it. Miss Brooks, arrest this policeman.
Arrest this policeman, is it?
Now, don't start that again. Will you go quietly, or do I have to use the bracelet?
Take it easy, lady. We'll settle this in a minute.
That doesn't frighten anybody. I got one of those, too.
Good for you, Sonny.
Some people don't seem to be familiar with the Constitution of the United States, which says, we, the people of the United States
Or,
of
for
America,
that matter, the
in order to
Declaration
form
of
a more
Independence,
perfect union,
says,
establish justice.
Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. He stuck in his thumb and pulled out a plum, and along came the Black Mariah. Guard! Oh, guard!
That's no use, Miss Brooks. He won't even listen to us.
Let me call him. After all, I'm still mayor.
Fine mayor. She's been in office 6 hours and the whole administration's up the river.
Much your fault as mine. You and your police whistle.
Now, don't start bickering, children. Maybe if we behave ourselves, they'll make us trustees. Hello out there. Oh, guard. Jailer. Turnkey.
Shut up!
My, what ill-bred screws.
Yes, Mrs. Denton, I'll call you the minute I hear from Walter. Goodbye. Imagine that, Martha. Mrs. Denton wanted me to call the police department. How would they know where her son Walter is? I can't understand it, Martha.
You can't understand what, Osgood?
That's the fifth parent who's called me up to ask why her child hasn't come home for dinner yet. You'd think they'd keep track of their children and not suddenly discover at 7 o'clock that they haven't come home for dinner yet. By the way, where's Harriet?
She hasn't come home for dinner yet.
What? Well, don't just stand there. Do something. Call Miss Brooks. I put the children in her charge. Call the police. The Bureau of Missing Persons. Get the district attorney. Contact the mayor. Find out if there's somebody else. Why don't they... Well, maybe you could get a hold of them. But I don't know what you're just standing there for. I'm here. Why don't you do something? Get going.
Osgood! Sometimes you sound like a walrus caught in a turkey staff. I did call Miss Brooks. Mrs. Davis says she wasn't home yet. Poor woman. She's had dinner on since 6. She's terribly worried about her stewed tomatoes.
Please stop sniveling about Mrs. Davis's tomatoes. We've got our own tomato to worry about.
Please, dear, calm down a little. Here, have some fruit. It's very good for the nerves.
I don't want any fruit. Oh, that's probably Harriet now. I'll answer it. I must lose my temper. I must be calm. Hello?
Osgood. You're talking in a banana.
No wonder with the house all cluttered up with fruit bowls. Hello? Is that you, Harriet?
No, Osgood. This is Margaret Davis.
Oh.
I just had a call from Miss Brooks.
You have?
Yes, Osgood. Harriet, Walter Denton, and several of the other students are with her.
Oh, well, thank heaven. Tell me, Margaret, where are the children and Miss Brooks?
They're in jail, Osgood.
Fine. You see, Martha, I told you there was nothing to worry about. Miss Brooks and the children are all in jail. Martha, take this phone out of my hands and put back the banana.
Prisoners, young fella. You may talk with them, but don't try to pass anything through the bar.
Oh, thank you.
Where's Mr. Boynton?
Hi, Mr. Boynton. We've been framed.
About that luncheon date, I don't think I can make it.
What is all this, Miss Brooks?
Haven't you heard? We're celebrating Student Convict Day.
We were only doing our duty as public servants, but Mayor Rimpson must have forgotten to notify any of the other authorities.
Yeah, we raided some racketeers, and the next thing we knew, we were in the pie wagon.
Well, they have no right to hold you here. Oh, officer. Officer.
What is it now?
Why,
there's been a mistake. Please open this cell and let these people out of here.
Oh, let these people out of here, is it?
Well, yes, it just happens that I've had quite a bit of legal training in addition to my biological background, and I can tell you that you have no legal basis upon which to hold them any longer.
Good for you, Mr. Boynton.
I'm telling him, Mr. B.
And furthermore, I'm sure you don't want to get into any trouble.
Oh, I don't I?
Tell him you'll have him pounding a beet in the swamp.
If you persist in this belligerent attitude, you're liable to be pounding a beet in a swamp.
That's done it.
I knew you'd see it my way.
At last, Mr. Boynton, just you and I and the children.
Absurd. I don't belong in this cell.
Now behave yourself, or I'll put you in solitary.
Oh, there you are, Connie.
Why, it's Mrs. Davis.
I would have been here sooner, but I just had to stop at the mass meeting.
What mass meeting, Mrs. Davis?
Oh, Mr. Boynton is with you. How nice.
Please, Mrs. Davis, we've got to get out of here now. If you'll only...
Everybody in town was there, Connie. And I told them what you said to me on the phone about Student Government Day being run all wrong.
Good for you, Mrs. Davis. Now maybe we'll get some action.
Where's the Brooks cell? The line forms on your left.
I also told those parents how you said that if you had been running Student Government Day instead of Mr. Conklin, there wouldn't have been so much dunderheaded bumbling.
Bumbling?
Oh, hello, Osgood. We were just talking about you.
Anybody want to buy a used teacher's license?
Well, I guess I'll be running along. Now that Mr. Conklin's here, I'm sure there's nothing further to worry about.
Miss Brooks, how could you Why did you have to... When were you...
Oh, please, Mr. Conklin, remember your blood pressure.
It wasn't Miss Brooks' fault, Daddy. Don't blame her.
And you, Harry, in prison. How could you do this to me? My own flesh and blood.
You've got his blood, Harry. You better watch your pressure, too.
Quiet, gentlemen. Miss Brooks, my painful duty to inform you that you are under suspension for conduct unbecoming a teacher. Have you anything to say in your own defense?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like a new trial.
On what ground?
On the grounds that I'm not doing so well in this one.
We'll discuss that at the proper time. Meanwhile, you children remain here in Mr. Boynton's charge until I can arrange to have... Mr. Boynton?
Hello, Mr. Conklin.
What in the world are you doing here?
I'm just visiting, Mr. Conklin.
One of those guests you just can't get rid of.
Well, we'll see all about this. I'm going straight to Mayor Remsen's office. I'll handle this matter personally.
Well, what'll I do in the meantime?
With a little luck, 30 days.
Well, you've done a lot for me, H.J., but I can't understand why we're dumping this slot machine deal.
Because it's too hot, Mayor. Besides, our cut ain't big enough. Also, the people are up in arms.
The people, what do they know about it?
Ed, I'm surprised at you. What do my initials stand for? H.J., Honest Jim. I'm the people's friend, Ed, and we got an election coming up. We can't afford to let the people get upset, or the first thing you know, they'll start thinking for themselves. And then where are we?
Okay, Jim, okay. I'll have the jackpot company get rid of those machines right away.
No, I've got a better idea. Ed, you're going to make yourself a hero with every parent in this community.
Huh?
You're going to let the kids do this job, the kids who were elected to public office for this one day.
Wonderful, Jim, wonderful. I'll call all my department heads, and I'll tell them the students holding office that I have complete authority.
Fine, Ed. It's democracy in action. That's what it is.
Yes, sir, democracy in action. And Mayor Remsen is solidly behind it. Until after election.
Which one of you is Mayor Harriet Conklin?
I am.
Step out, please. Now, which one of you is Chief of Police Denton?
Oh, that's me.
Come on out. I've had orders to release the both of you.
Oh, but what about Miss Brooks and myself?
Sorry, my orders didn't say anything about you two.
But I insist that you release them immediately.
Quiet, Walter. Orders are orders.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, Well, in spite of everything, Walter and Harriet got us out of jail promptly. And that wasn't the only thing Student Government Day accomplished. The racketeers left town almost immediately. In fact, the very next day, Walter took me out to the Jackpot Warehouse for a last look at the place.
Pretty deserted now, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Walter. Let's go in and see if they've cleaned out the slot machine.
I'm going to look around in back, Miss Brooks.
Go ahead, Walter. Hey, here's one of those nickel machines. What a racket. Naturally, 2 lemons and an anchovy. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Crime does not pay.
Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, was produced and directed by Larry Burns, written by Arthur Alsberg and Al Lewis, with the music of Lud Gluskin. Mr. Conklin was played by Gail Gordon. This program came to you from the Frankfurt studios of the American Forces Network Europe and was prepared for rebroadcast over this network by specialist Ed Barron.
I'd rather have a Raleigh. I'd rather have a Raleigh.
I'd rather have a Raleigh.
I'd rather have a Raleigh. Because Raleighs are right. Right for taste and right for throat. The Raleigh Cigarette Program, starring Red Skelton with Gigi Pearson, Verna Felton, our tiny singer Anita Ellis, Pat McGee, and David Forrester and his orchestra, and yours truly, Rod O'Connor. It's a pleasure to bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's popular comedian and the star of the Raleigh Cigarette Program, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Rod.
Ah, it's good to see you, Red.
And it's good to be able to see you, too, Rod.
How are you, Red?
I'm fine, Rod. How are you, Rod?
Fine, and you, Red?
I'm fine, Rod. Wonder what the other morons are doing tonight.
Well, Red, how was your trip to Philadelphia?
Oh, it was wonderful. There and back. You know, airplanes is the only way to travel nowadays.
Well, you talk as if you were air-minded.
I am not air-minded. I can prove my head is vacuum-packed.
Well, was it an interesting trip?
Yes, it was. Once during the trip, a lot of ice and snow formed on the wings, and I asked the pilot what he was going to do about it. See?
Well, what happened?
Well, the pilot was from California. It was the first snow he'd ever seen, so he climbed out on the wings and made a snowman.
Well, what altitude were you flying at?
I don't know, but on a clear day you could see Buck Rogers.
Well, they really give you good service on those airlines.
Yeah, but there's one thing I don't like about airplanes. They strap you in your seat. That makes me nervous, you know.
Well, why should it make you nervous when they strap you in the seat?
That's the way Grandfather went. They strapped him in a chair.
Well, they tell me the flight from here to Philadelphia is really beautiful.
Yeah, what scenery. If you really want to see something beautiful, fly over Grand Canyon. Boy, that Grand Canyon. There was really an engineering job, wasn't it?
Red, that wasn't an engineering job.
It wasn't?
No, Mother Nature did that 1,000,000 years ago.
Gee, women worked like slaves in those days, too.
Well, Red, for your information, the canyon's been there for 1,000,000 years.
No kidding.
All that dirt was washed away ages ago by a little trickle of water.
Oh, that's wonderful. Shows you what a little drip can do if he just stays with it, doesn't it?
You went to Philadelphia to be master of ceremonies of the Poor Richard Award dinner in honor of Ted Gamble, didn't you, Red?
Yeah, that's right. And what a reception they gave me. Mayor Samuel of Philadelphia met the plane, and is he tiny?
Really little fella, huh?
Oh, a little. Mayor LaGuardia calls him Shorty. He pulled his... Thank you very much. Thank you, both of you. The mayor pulled his socks up one day and was blindfolded for 2 hours.
Well, did the audience like you in Philadelphia?
Yes, after my show, Roger Cliff, president of the Poor Richer Club, wanted me to run for office.
What office?
The Santa Fe ticket office. I'm proud of that. That's my joke.
Well, I hear the chief of police gave you a fine traffic horse.
Yeah, can you imagine me with a horse?
Well, if you don't want it, give it to me.
Well, with a meat shorty, John, don't be silly. I'll stew it myself.
Well, it sounds like you really had fun.
Yeah, I did. While I was there, I went over to Valley Forge and I saw the bed that Washington slept in.
Really?
6 families are living in it. Hey, I found out that George Washington had the first pair of false teeth that was ever made. Old wooden choppers they were.
Really?
Now, you see, he used to be Martha's peanut brittle tester.
Oh, pardon me, Red. I hate to change the subject, but I have a message from the makers of Rawley's cigarettes.
Well, look, Rod, we're running a little short of time tonight, so I don't think we'll have time for that, so we'll skip it.
My boy, my dear boy.
Look, Mr. Raleig's probably getting sick and tired of all that publicity. Raleigh cigarettes. He knows everybody's smoking them. Just tear the stuff up. Go ahead. Throw it in the waste paper.
Okay, Red, if you insist, I'll tear it up.
Tear it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just listened to the psychopathic scene from Lost Weekend. Go ahead, Rod. Tell them the big news. Go ahead.
Now, medical science offers you proof positive. Yes, medical science offers you proof positive.
No other leading cigarette is safer to smoke because no other gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars than the new, smoother, better-tasting Raleigh.
Yes, Raleighs are right. Right for taste, right for throat. For medical science now offers you proof positive. No other cigarette gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars. So no other is safer to smoke. Next time, ask for Raleigh's.
And no other program gives you lovely Anita Ellis singing, I'm Always Chasing Rainbows.
Just like all my dreams, ending in the sky. Some fellows look and find the sunshine. I always look and find the rain. Some fellows make a winning sometime. I never even make a game. I'm always chasing rainbows, waiting to find a little bluebird in there. Some fellows look and find the sunshine. I always look and find the rain. Some fellows make a winning sometime. I never even make a game. Believe me, I'm always chasing rainbows, waiting to find a little blue.
Spain program this week. I thought I'd get that in there. Thank you very much. And tonight we open the Skelton scrapbook of satire to a story entitled People Celebrating. Our characters are fictional. Any similarity to persons living is a physical impossibility. This is the story of Clem Cadiddlehopper, the boy from the country, who loves nature in spite of what she did to him. He's on his way to his girl, Sarah Dew, to help celebrate her 21st birthday. Happy birthday to you. Do, 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 do. I could make it, but my eyes would pop out. Well, let's see if I got all my birthday greetings written down. Yep, hey, here they are. Now, if I could only read, that would be... But after all, I'm only 25. No use straining myself, you know. Well, it's Sarah Dew's house. I wonder who that car belongs to. No dents and fenders. Not a scratch on it anywhere. Can't belong to a woman. I'll just sneak around and do a little snooping before I go in. I better not. I'm getting that keyhole squat from straining. Here's a window open. I'll just peek in here. What do you know? They washed it.
Good heavens, what happened?
Well,
howdy, Clem.
Well, Sarah Dew, howdy doody to you, too. Here, I brought you a birthday present. It's some perfumey.
Well, what is it, Chanel number 5?
No, it's Rabbit Hutch number 3. Oh, by all means.
Oh, good heavens. What's that?
I made it myself. Let me smell it, will you? I guess I put too much kerosene in it. Kills the smell of the cabbage, doesn't it? Say, are you all alone here?
No, his gentleman friend is here. Come on in and meet him, Clem.
Well, I'd love to. Any friend of yours is an enemy of mine.
Clem, this is Jean Dowds, and this is Clem.
I'm glad to see you.
You ever seen me before?
No, can't say that I have.
Well, how do you know it's me? Have you known Sarah Dew long?
Long enough.
Oh, I think so, too. When you leaving?
Now, what's on your mind?
On my what?
Your mind.
Must be a stranger in town. Look, I want you to know nobody's stealing my girl, Bud.
Now, boys, put on your coat. You shouldn't be fighting over me because I ain't with it.
I know that, but it's the principle of the thing. You're my girl. Nobody's going to steal my girl.
Oh, that was sweet, and I'm going to give you a great big kiss.
Why? What do you got against me?
Terry do. I think Clem and I should figure out something in the way of a celebration, seeing as how it's your birthday.
Well, what can we do for excitement that's different?
Well, let's go down to the butcher shop and pickle pig's feet.
There's a dance at the Elks Club. We could go there.
Well,
Clem, are you an elk?
Are you looking for trouble?
He just means, are you a member of the Elk?
Well, I heard him. What are you doing, siding in with him now? How could I be an elk with a moose face like mine?
You're just like my pa said. You're a moron, stupid, half-witted, and ill-mannered.
Okay, but you tell him if he ever lies about me, there's going to be trouble.
Hey, let's go to a high-class nightclub and celebrate.
Oh, no, because in them ritzy places, we'd have to dress.
Well, I should hope so. It's cold out tonight.
Hey, I've got it. Let's go down to my sawmill and get some steam up in the boilers and blow the whistle. One for each year.
Well, that would be charming. What a delightful idea. take a lot of steam, though, wouldn't it?
Why, Clem, I've only seen 21 summers.
Only 21 summers, huh? How about that winter you helped Paul Revere saddle his horse?
Well, let's all go to my sawmill. My car's stacked up outside.
Okay.
You know, I've always wanted to visit a sawmill. Look at all them big logs.
Yes.
Hey, what kind of wood is that? Bird's eye maple?
No, that's cockeyed walnut.
No, it's bird's eye. Does it smell fresh?
Smell fresh? It is fresh. One of them bird's eyes just winked at me. Well, stand back, everybody. I'm going to throw some logs on the fire and get up some steam so we can blow that whistle.
Oh, protect your face, Clem, from that heater. You'll singe all the hair off on your face.
Yeah, I better fold my ears over my eyes, hadn't you? Well, hey, here goes a few logs. What do you know? Didn't get a one of them in.
Here, let me do it. You're just as helpless as a new bride without a can opener.
Well, now, I think I can do it, if you don't mind.
Say, Clem, better not put too much in. That steam is up to 150 pounds now, and the boil'll only take 160.
Exciting, ain't it? Makes a nice little plot, don't it? Of course, some of you folks out there have already got it finished already. In case you have, don't tell anybody sitting next to you, eh? I got a feeling some of you ain't paying attention. And you better pay attention, because after the show, I'm going to pull some of the sponsors' tricks. I'm going to ask questions. Now, I know all about boilers. I'll just throw in some more logs on the fire. There. Now, we'll just open the safety valve. It's stuck. Now what?
Look at that gauge. It's 159 pounds.
Yep, one more pound, we can tell everybody we went out together.
Run, there it goes. Sarah, are you all right?
Yes, but Clem is still in there. Here he comes now.
I don't see him.
Oh, Clem, are you all right?
Yeah, but untie my shoestring so I can get my head out, will you?
Now, medical science offers you proof positive. Yes, medical science offers you proof positive.
No other leading cigarette is safer to smoke because no other gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars than the new, smoother, better-tasting Raleigh.
Babe Ruth, immortal of American baseball, says, quote,
Raleighs are right. Right for taste, right for throat. I've studied the test myself, and I know it's true. Medical science has proved no other cigarette gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars. So no other is actually safer to smoke.
You're right, Babe Ruth. Raleighs are right. Exhaustive scientific tests of America's 6 biggest-selling brands, certified by 14 distinguished doctors, including eminent throat specialists, have just proved conclusively no other cigarette gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars. So no other is actually safer to smoke. See if you don't agree, Raleighs are right. Right for taste, right for throat. Try Raleighs. Enjoy Raleighs rich tobacco, that milder, smoother, more satisfying Raleigh flavor. Remember, medical science now offers you proof positive.
No other leading cigarette is safer to smoke because no other gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars than the new, smoother, better-tasting Raleigh.
Now on page 102 of our scrapbook, we find a picture of David Forrester and his orchestra in a South American atmosphere as they play Tico Tico. Chapter 67 of Celebrations is entitled Never Again. Everyone wants to rest after they've celebrated a little, but it's a little difficult in the house where the mean little kid lives.
Julia, where are you?
Hiya, kiddo, over here.
Are you ready for dinner?
Yes, I am. Hey, Nemo, for once, can I have me dessert first and the soup last?
What's wrong with the regular way?
Well, by the time something good comes along, I'd all filled up, you know.
Julia, I thought you said you were ready for dinner.
Yes?
Did you wash?
Now, that's a silly question to ask me, Grandma.
Did you wash your ears?
Well, you see it this way, Grandma. Ever since I learned how to wiggle my ears, I can't wash them. They get away from me every time, you know. Hey, is Grandpa home yet?
Not yet. And I hope he gets home early.
Well, don't worry. Some of the boys will help him, man. Boy, he sure was up hip last night, wasn't he, huh?
Yes, Junior. And did you know what was wrong with Gran?
Yes, I does. You said the old boy was sick, and the old boy said he was sick. So unless you both want to admit the old boy was blotto, I guess the old boy was sick.
Junior, just because your grandfather is out late at a celebration doesn't mean he does those kind of things.
What did he celebrate last night?
He was voted as High Lama at the lodge.
Yeah? What's he celebrating now?
He is being crowned.
If he comes home High Lama tonight, he's going to get crowned again. Well, you know, I think an occasion like that counts for a celebration for us, too. Let's go to the movie.
No, not today. Not today, Junior.
You know, there's a girl in the movie look just like you. I'll go get my coat.
Really?
Yeah, look just like you. See that she's so young and so glamorous. I put my coat
Really, Junior?
Yes, indeed. She looked just like you. Oh, so beautiful, so Rita Hayworth like you. She looked just like you. I got my coat here.
Oh, well, then. Well, then, you can stay home and look at me.
Yes. Well, I thought I had her that time. Please take me to show. I've already got me coat. What's this? Oh, boy, this should be good. Look what's coming up the house here. Look. Hiya, Grandpa.
Oh, please, Junior, speak softly. Oh, never again.
Boy, he looked like he found that lost weekend, don't he?
Oh, that poor man. I better go fix his bed.
It's already did. I already did. When he laid down, the springs were snapped and throw him against the ceiling.
You wouldn't do a thing like that, Junior. You're kidding me.
You just keep laughing, kiddo. Listen. It worked. Did you hear him hit that wall? Did you?
Murder! There, press that Junior in his experiment. Junior, you rigged up this bed spring, didn't you?
Huh?
Aren't you ashamed?
No.
Why do you do naughty things like that?
I guess it was something that happened to me in my childhood.
What happened in your childhood?
I was born.
Junior, let's be quiet now and let your grandfather sleep a while.
No,
Oh, come on, Pat. Put that shillelagh down and get in the other bed.
Yeah, put the club down. Grandpa, I am sorry.
You should be!
He yelled at me!
My son, I haven't done anything!
I love you so much, and he yelled at me!
It wasn't that bad.
Why he yelled at me?
Did he hurt your feelings?
He hurt my feelings!
Oh, bless his little heart.
Yes, bless his little heart!
Junior! I'm sorry, Junior. Here. Now, don't cry, and Gramps will give you a dime. Here.
No, I know you don't. None of them red ones. I found out them's pennies.
Oh, yes? And pray, who told you that?
Well, pray, I found out for myself. The man down the candy store, I bought 10 jawbreakers, and he tried to take 9 of them back. Goodness, I was never so embarrassed in all my life. Goodness.
Julia, I hope you gave the 9 jawbrokers back.
What is... Goodness, Grandma, what's a jawbreaker, huh? I offered to give him back, but he wouldn't take him out of me widow mouth.
Verna, can't you take him out of here?
Junior, you better leave, and please behave. You're making me nervous, too.
Ah, yes?
Yes, look at my hands.
Yeah.
They're shaking.
Yeah.
Look at them.
I see them.
Look close.
Oh, no. One step and I walk into the beating of my life, boy. Something tells me, kiddo.
Dear, you know, Pat, if I could get someone to look after the house, I'd have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, why do you say broke down? I tell you what, you go to sleep. You go to sleep now. Go on. And I will sing to you.
No, don't sing.
Bye, baby, and a sweet
Junior, please stop that awful singing.
Oh, well, I can't help it if you don't let me improve my musical education. Every time I go near the piano, you take me hatchet away from me.
I think we should both get out and let Gramps sleep.
Yes, I think so.
Do you want anything now, Dad?
No, just a little peace and quiet. It's stuffy in here. Better crack the window.
Yeah, here, let me do it.
No! He didn't mean that way.
Now she tells you.
Now we'll have to get a new pane of glass.
You better look for a new alarm clock, too.
Please, Verna, take him out of here.
Come on, Junior.
There, my ear. Let go of my ear. You're pulling me ear. You're stretching me ear there.
I didn't stretch your ear.
No, well, how come I look like half kid and a half rabbit? Come on, let go of my ear. Thank you.
Now we must be quiet.
Yes.
Now you run and play, and I'll set the table.
No.
And please be quiet.
Okay, poor old Gramps. He's dead tired, he is. I was going to be quiet. Uh-oh. Look at that faucet leaking there. Now, he can't sleep with that dripping sound. I'm going to fix it.
Junior, are you banging on the pipe with an iron bar?
No, Grandma. I'm using me head.
Well, stop it. Do you want to stir up all the rust?
Yes. They sure does love me, don't they, huh? Oh, but now how am I going to get down these steps without making a lot of noise? I could slide down the banister, but Grandma said not to. But she might not care in an emergency like this. And then again, she might. And then again, I really don't know why I was worrying myself thinking about it. I'm going to do it anyway.
Now what happened?
You know that base you was always afraid I might break?
Yes.
Your worries is over.
Junior, come here.
Huh?
I've got something for you.
I don't wanna. I see what it is and I don't wanna. Imagine a size 10 slipper for a widow kid like me.
Remember, we'll all be with you on every Tuesday night at the same time. Red Skelton, Dave Forrester and his orchestra, Anita Ellis, Verna Felton, Gigi Pearson, our guest, Wonderful Smith, and yours truly, Rod O'Connor. Until next Tuesday, then.
This is Red Skelton saying goodbye now. Thanks for listening. And remember, give the servicemen a ride.
Attention, veterans. When writing the Veterans Administration, be sure to give complete information. Full name, not just initials. Full address. Service serial number, date of birth, and service record. This will ensure speedier service for you. And remember, listen to Hildegard tomorrow night, and the People Are Funny without link letter Friday night over most of these stations. Red Skelton is heard in this program through the courtesy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Sir Walter Raleigh. That's the tobacco that leaves your pipe as clean as a whistle. It's carefully blended from rich, ripe burleys and mellowed with just a touch of rum to enhance the natural, full-bodied flavor. And Sir Walter Raleigh burns cool and even, right down to the bottom of the bowl. Leaves a clean, dry ash in your pipe. Get Sir Walter Raleigh, the quality pipe tobacco of America.
Red Skelton is brought to you by the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Well, sir, it's late afternoon as our scene opens now.
And here in the living room of the small house halfway up in the next block, we find Mr. Victor Gook and his son, Mr. Rush Gook. Vic has just this moment arrived home from the office. He's depositing his straw hat on top of the bookcase. Young Rush is seated at the library table, gazing somewhat blankly at the wall. And his father says to him,
"Are you in a trance, Pocket Watch?"
"I'm trying to figure something out."
When I greeted you joyously, your rejoinder was sluggish and preoccupied.
Uh-huh.
Your mother and Miss Stembottom got off on their automobile trip to Pontiac in good shape?
I guess so.
When they due back?
6:30 or 7. If it's any later, we're supposed to fix our own supper.
I enjoy trying my hand at culinary art on occasion. If your mother hasn't returned by 6:30, I'll put on an apron and fry you the tastiest round steak you ever put in your mouth.
Mm.
You still in a trance?
I'm thinking.
Whip out the tickets and I'll take you in on a rummy game.
Miss Harris just telephoned, Gal.
Really? I trust she's in robust health?
Darnest mixed-up business you ever heard of.
How so?
Well, let's see if I can get it straight. Mr. Stembottom telephoned her to ask if she wouldn't get in touch with you and say that just before Mom and Miss Stembottom left for Pontiac, Hank Gutstop had called up here with the information... Oh, wait a minute, I left out a step. Some fella down at the Lazy Hours pool room telephoned Mom to say that Hank Gutstop had asked him to get a hold of you. But you weren't in your office, so he telephoned Mom and give her the information. Oh, that's not it either. I better start from the beginning. Ms. Harris telephoned...
What in blazes you talking about, Harry?
Darned if I know.
Well, strap out the rummy cards and I'll make you look like 15 cents.
Okay.
I was down in the packing department a good while this afternoon where there aren't any telephones. That's why I couldn't be reached.
Uh-huh.
I expect Hank found himself embarrassed for ready cash again and wanted to hit me for 6 bits or $1.
No, I don't think so. It was something about YY Flirch being in town.
YY Flirch?
Ms. Harris called him I Blurch, but I expected...
You say he's in town?
I got the idea from what Miss Harris said he was.
Whereabouts?
Well, Miss Harris...
What's Miss Harris got to do with this?
I tried to explain that. Miss Harris...
If YY Flirch is in town, I want to see him. Where is he?
I don't know where he is.
What'd Mom say?
I haven't seen Mom. Her and Miss Stembottom left for Pontiac before school let out. I talked to Miss Harris.
And she told you YY Flirch is in town?
Well, she didn't know. All she said was...
what is this, Sam?
Some fella from the Lazy Hours pool hall telephoned Mom.
Is YY Flirch at the Lazy Hours pool hall?
I haven't the slightest idea. All I know is he called up Mom from there and said he was speaking for Hank Gutstop.
Well, you haven't seen Mom. How do you know anybody called her up?
Miss Harris told me.
Does Miss Harris know where YY Flirch is?
I doubt it. See, Mr. Stembottom called her up to say that...
Mr. Stembottom?
Yeah.
What's he got to do with it?
I think I can explain if you'll listen. Mrs. Stembottom...
Now we got Mrs. Stembottom in this muddled mass of confusion.
Well, I'm only attempting to clarify...
I've got any amount of money. YY Flirch got in on the 2:50 train from Decatur and is going to grab the 5:15 for Peoria. What time is it now?
Clock on the bookcase is a little fast. I expect...
It's 5 minutes till.
5 minutes till 5?
No, midnight. Listen, if YY Flirch is in town, I want to get in touch with him. He's been to an important meeting of lodge officials in Decatur. He'll be able to tell me a good many vital things. What's Ms. Harris's telephone number? You know it?
Yeah. It's either 9985W or 2360J.
Well, which?
Try 7761L.
7761L?
Yeah.
You sure?
Pretty sure. Call it and see. 2497K and 6224M are numbers that's also buzzing around in my skull, but I'm pretty sure...
Oh, for gosh sakes, P.
Try 7761L. I'm convinced it's correct.
Imagine calling Ma Donahue across the alley to get information about YY Flirch. 7761L, please. Yeah. If you give me a bum steer, there'll be severe reckoning.
I never guaranteed it was 7761L. Might be 2996W. Might be 4363J. I'm only common, ordinary flesh and blood. I can't...
Hello. A man's voice.
Human flesh and blood.
Hello. I guess I got the wrong number. I wanted to reach Miss... What? Oh, I see. I have got the right number then. You're one of Miss Harris's roomers, huh? I see.
Mr. Sludge.
Glad to hear it. The slob wants to chat.
Mr. Sludge is quite a talker. And you're perfectly right calling him a slob. In the summertime, he don't wear socks, even with his Sunday suit. And he don't like shoelaces in his shoes. He likes to hear the flippity-flap of his feet squash.
You're right about the Chicago White Sox. They're a great team, but is Miss Harris there? Oh, she isn't. I see. Well, thanks just the same. I'll call her some other... What? Philadelphia Athletics? I have to hang up now. Goodbye. Not home.
I don't think she'd have any information about YY Flirch even if she was home. She was just repeating what Mr. Stembottom told her.
Oh, forget Mr. Stembottom. I have to get a hold of YY Flirch. Past 5 o'clock. I'll call the Lazy Hours pool hall and talk to Hank Gutstaff.
Well, he's not at the Lazy Hours pool hall.
Well, you said he was, doggone it.
No, I never.
Well, what did you say?
I said a fella speaking for Hank called from the Lazy Hours pool room.
What is his name?
Yop. Gop.
Now we got guys named Yop or Gop in on this.
Might have been Fop.
And from what source did you obtain your information about Yop, Gop, or Fop?
Ms. Harris.
Oh, we're back to her again, are we?
Gov, I can explain all this, I think, if you'll give me a chance.
Go right ahead.
Who's the girl at the telephone switchboard down at the plant?
J. Times?
Yeah.
Miss Clem.
Is she on duty now?
Yeah. Why?
Well, she's another party mixed up in it.
Oh, my.
Hey, Gov, I
Name
can't...
over our cast of characters. I'd like to hear a complete list of the well-meaning human beings that want me to know why Flirch is in town.
Well, I'm one. Mr. Yop, Gop, or Fop. Hank Gutstaff, Mom, Miss Stembottom, Mr. Stembottom, Miss Clem, and Miss Harris.
8 people want me to get in touch with YY Flirch, and yet in spite of their united efforts, I can't get in touch with YY Flirch.
Well, everybody tried. Nobody fell down on the job.
Did you say you hadn't figured out how this strange pattern was wrought?
I think I have.
Well, elucidate.
Huh?
Explain.
Well, earlier in the afternoon, Mom and Miss Stembottom were here getting ready to climb in the automobile and head for Pontiac.
Clear as a bell so far.
Telephone rang.
Yop, Gop, or Fop on the wire?
No, Miss Clem on the wire.
Well, you said this guy from the Lazy Hours...
Let me tell it, Gov.
Shoot.
Miss Clem on the wire. She says, is Mr. Gook there, Miss Gook? Mom says, no. Miss Clem says, I thought he might be home because he's not here in the office. Mom says, was it something important?
How do you know what Mom said?
I don't. I'm reconstructing what happened out of my head.
Reconstruct your way.
Mom says, was it something important? Miss Clem says, a gentleman named Mr. Yop, Gop, or Fop, just called, from the Lazy Hours pool hall. He said he was speaking for a Mr. Gutstaff. Mr. Gutstaff wanted to notify Mr. Gook, a friend of his, Mr. YY Flirch, is in town. Got that much of it straight?
Yeah.
All right. Mom turns to Miss Stembottom and says, I know Victor'd like to have this information, but we're leaving for Pontiac. How can I get word to him? Miss Stembottom says, I'll call up Fred. Fred can telephone Victor a little bit later and tell him. So Miss Stembottom telephones Mr. Stembottom at the foundry. Still all clear?
Yeah.
All right. Mom and Miss Stembottom drive off to Carberry, and Mr. Stembottom waits a half an hour and then calls this number in hopes of getting in touch with you and handing over the information.
But nobody's home.
Nobody's home.
So
Fred decides to telephone a neighbor lady and have her relay the message.
And that's where Miss Harris comes in.
That's where Miss Harris comes in.
She calls here and you talk to her.
She calls here and I talk to her.
And that's the story.
And that's the story.
Very pretty tale.
Yes, indeed.
8 kind friends and true, all breaking their backs so I can get in touch with YY Flirch. Here I stand helpless and wretched, still not in touch with YY Flirch.
Well, why don't you attempt to get a hold of that fella Yop, Gop, or Flop? He's the key man.
Where could I locate him?
Lazy Hours Pool Hall is the place he calls your office from.
You know the number?
I don't know any pool hall telephone numbers. Mom would throw me over the People's Bank building.
There's somebody.
It might be Miss Harris. Might be Mr. Stembottom. Might be Hank Gutstow.
Hello? Yes? Oh, hello there.
YY Flirch?
Yeah, YY Flirch.
It all come out okay after
Hello
all.
there, YY, you old horse thief. In hac agricola sim spinner hunk. Ad nauseum cornucopia dum slack etch.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the next block. And there we leave Crisco's Vic and Sade until the next time.
Duffy.
Duffy's where the elite maintain Archie the manager's vacant. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Tonight, P014 and Mrs. Corbett Wells in a talking bird. Huh? Mrs. Wells talking bird. Now, don't get excited, Duffy. It ain't horsing. Now, this bird you can shut up once in a while. Well, you ought to see the bird, Duffy. It's wonderful. He talks, he whistles, he even sings. Huh? Oh, no? Well, can you pull worms out of the ground with your beak? You probably could have, huh? Well, you ought to see him. He's practically human. Huh? 4F. And he's got flat feet. Well, they call him a minor bird. He comes from the Malay Peninsula. Yeah, where the Malarians come from. Yeah. Yeah, Mrs. Wells found him in the jungle, you know, when he was just a little puppy. Huh? Well, what do you call a small bird? A gosling. Duffy, you kill me. A gosling is a Norwegian trader. Exactly. I'll call you back, Duffy. So long.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Duffy. Come in and meet Finnegan, Eddie the waiter, Miss Duffy, Johnny Johnston, Paul Weston and his orchestra, our special guests tonight, Peter Lorre and Mrs. Corbett Wells' minor bird, Raffles, and Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Harry, don't forget the announcement about the book, Duffy's First Reader.
Oh, yes, I'll make it now.
Yeah, orchestra, frame, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Harry.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since Duffy's has been on the air, people have been asking why Archie hasn't written a book. Well, finally, it's happened. It has been written by the great genius.
Harry, please. Folks, he means it has been wrote. Manzel, watch your diction.
Yes. Archie has really wrote a unique book. It is called Duffy's First Reader, and there are chapters on mathematics, etiquette, history, and grammar.
Not to mention the autobiography.
That's right. And Duffy's First Reader is profusely illustrated.
And Harry, tell him it's got pictures, too.
Yes, pictures not only of Archie, but of the famous personalities who have visited Duffy's in the past. 48 pages of pictures and laughs. And all it will cost you, ladies and gentlemen, is the cost of postage and handling. In round numbers, 10 cents. That's all.
Miss Archie, now, this talking bird, what do they call it?
They call it a minor bird.
Why do they call it a minor bird?
Well, Eddie, that is difficult for me to explain to one not familiar with the natural habitudes of botanology.
Oh, you don't know, huh?
Look, Eddie, I never talk on a subject of which I am ignorant.
Not that quiet, nobody could be. Tell me, why do they call it a minor bird?
Because it's a bird that ain't 21 years old. What do they call the bird after it becomes 21? Nothing. They die at 20. Would you like any more information, Eddie?
Yeah, keep it flying. Well, where'd you get all this stuff?
Well, don't forget, Eddie, that for a long time I was associated with the Explorers Club.
As a busboy.
Made into water, they call me. Naturally, working in an Explorers Club, it makes one practically an explorer oneself.
I was a waiter at the Stock Club for 2 years. I ain't never had a baby. Well, what does this bird look like?
Well, it looks like sort of one of them molted falcons. Only darker.
More of a chocolate malted falcon.
Say, Archie.
Oh, yeah, Miss Duffy.
Who did you say was coming down here tonight?
Peter Lorre and a token bird.
A fine choice they give me.
What's wrong with Lorre? After all, he has all the requirements you demand. He's a man.
He's too short. I never go out with small men. It ain't sportsmanlike.
Well, he's short, but he's tricky. What's wrong with short guys? Your own father is shorter than your mother, ain't he?
Well, they were the same height when they were married.
Yeah, well, I guess all that banging on the head has dwarfed him. Look, Miss Duffy, can't you think of anything but men?
Sure I can. But why should I punish myself?
Say, Archie.
Yeah, Harry.
Mrs. Carver Wells is here with the bird.
Oh, well, good evening, Mrs. Wells. We are indeed granted by your humble presence here tonight.
Thank you, Archie.
Speaking of jungles, I'm an old-time hunter myself.
You are?
Yeah, many's the time I hunted elephants, lions, tigers, hyenas. Yeah. Eddie over there used to be me safari. Priceless. Many's the time he has trekked me out of the jungle.
Which jungle?
What was the name of that one again, Eddie?
Sorry, this is the one you got to trek yourself out of.
Well, anyway, as I was saying...
Archie, can't we hear the bird talk for a change?
Say, that is a very good idea. How about it, Mrs. Wells?
All right, I'll take Ruffles out of his cage.
Glad to hear a bird talk to me.
Is that the bird doing that?
Ruffles, whistle your favorite tune. Whistle your favorite tune. Whistle your favorite tune. Whistle. Whistle your favorite tune.
Better throw him a grape.
Whistle your favorite tune. Whistle. Now whistle my country tis of thee, Raffles. Whistle my country tis of thee. Whistle. My country tis of thee. Whistle. Now, Raffles, you're going to whistle. You're going to whistle heel, heel again. He's all here. Heel, heel. Whistle heel, heel. Whistle really the song you like best. Whistle your favorite tune. Now whistle your favorite tune. Yes. Now what did Raffles? You're going to whistle your favorite tune again? All right. When you saw Duffy's picture, did you laugh? Raffles, what do you say to this pretty girl? Likewise, I'm sure. When you saw Duffy's picture, did you laugh? Did you laugh?
That's a very bright bird.
Whistle your favorite tune. Whistle your favorite tune. Whistle your favorite tune. Well, that's fine, Raffles, but you're going to say hello, Jojo? Going to say hello, Jojo? Say hello, Jojo. Hello? Now, Raffles, change your voice. Now, Raffles, I know that you have a tune you like best of all. How about whistling the tune that you like best of all? Whistle, whistle, whistle.
Hello? Hello, Duffy. Flirch, yeah, Bird's here. Well, don't worry, Duffy, don't worry. I'm watching him. Yeah, besides. Anyhow, I got me hat on. Huh? What? No, Duffy, you're wrong. No, Duffy, it was not. Nah. I thought it was Gabriel Hayter. Well, gee, Mrs. Wells, that was wonderful. Ain't there nothing this feathered quiz kid can't do?
Well, Raffles can't give you advice.
Hello, Archie. Oh, hello, Johnson. Look, Johnny, I've been meaning to apologize to you. You know, I've been a little rough on you the last couple of weeks, and I want you to know that I really think you're a great singer.
Oh, okay, Bud. Now, look, about this bird. It happens that, I'm the singer around here, and I don't like to see a bird cutting in on my racket.
Look, Johnson, it may be news to you, but them birds was in the singing racket long before you was. Well, I want you to know that I'm not taking second billing to a crow.
Johnson, what is your song tonight?
Sunday, Monday, or always.
Sunday, Monday, always. I noticed you left out payday. Johnson, sing. You were very wise leaving out that payday.
Won't you tell me when we will meet again? Sunday, Monday, or always. If you're satisfied, I'll be at your side. Sunday, Monday, or always. No need to tell me now what makes the world go round. When at the sight of you, my heart begins to pound and pound. And what am I to do? Can I be with you Sunday, Monday, or always? Won't you tell me when we will meet again? Sunday, Monday, or always. If you're satisfied, I'll be at your side. Sunday, Monday, or always. No need to tell me now what makes the world go round. When at the sight of you, my heart begins to pound and pound. And what am I to do? Can I be with you Sunday, Monday, or always?
That was very good. You know, we shouldn't really walk on you like we do.
Oh, that's all right, Arch. I'm like a rug, you know, and I'm better after a good beating.
Why do I try to get friendly with this guy?
Well, Finnegan, you're late. You missed the talking bird.
So what? We had chicken for dinner.
But you should have been here, Finnegan. This bird really talks words, you know?
Sir?
Yeah.
Tell me briefly, what did he say?
Well, he said, things like, take a bit, hello, Jojo, or Rebecca, hello, Jojo.
Sounds like a moron to me. Where does this boy come from, Mike?
Well, he's the offspring of Mrs. Convert Wells, the explorer.
Oh, I know quite a number of offspring explorers.
Finnegan, stop lying. What explorers do you know?
Oh, it's Dr. Presume.
Dr. Presume?
Yeah, Dr. Livingston, I presume.
The man's name was Stanley, I presume.
Mr. Dawson?
What's the matter?
Oh, look here. The man has been sitting over in that car. You know who he is?
Who?
Mr. Peter Lawrence.
Oh, Mr. Lowry, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, sir. Yeah, you make the rest of the gang here look less gruesome.
Please, Archie, I don't want you to think of me as a horrible person.
Oh, all right, I'll try not to then.
No, please think of me as a sweet, lovable man who makes certain people think. Sort of non-musical Frank Sinatra.
Sort of a Frankenstein actor. Yeah, but you don't scare me, you know. I work for a guy who makes you look like little orphan Annie.
Who is that?
A guy named Duffy. He's half-baked.
What is the other half?
What?
What is the other half?
Hey. You should see him. He stands 5'6", sitting down on his stocking feet and has a neck that starts at his waist. Yeah, guys, all shows. In fact, when he buys a suit, he only buys the coat.
Well, what does he do with the pants?
His wife wears them.
Oh, he sounds like a monstrosity.
Yes, well, fella. And he loves your pictures, you know. He's always so happy at the finish when you finally get the goo.
Oh, Archie, I'm very tired of that sort of picture.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, you know, I've been offered a radio program where I can be something different, entirely different. A children's hour.
Yeah, it sounds like a natural for you. Yeah. Good evening, kiddies. This is your Uncle Jack, the Ripper.
I'm serious, Archie. I've always loved little children, and I'm going to write this program for them myself. Oh, it's lovely. The first story, you know, is about a little boy and girl.
Little boy and girl, huh?
Yes, a little boy and girl, and they are late for dinner because on their way home from school, they have fallen into a concrete mixer.
Oh, the joys of childhood. Where is their parents?
Well, their parents would have been there, but they were strolling down a country lane and got their heads cut off by a windmill.
This will certainly get the kiddies to take their milk.
I think so, too, yes. You see, so the police tried to find their uncle, but Uncle is busy in the backyard having a barbecue. And what do you think is Uncle barbecuing, huh?
Auntie.
Oh, you read the story.
Well, it sounds pretty good, Peter. Maybe you can get some plasma company to sponsor it. I like it.
Archie, do you mind introducing me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Laurie. This is Miss Duffy, the daughter at the establishment.
You know, Mr. Laurie, you're even less repulsive in person as you are on the screen.
Thank you. I've never seen you on the screen, so I can't return a compliment.
Thank you. Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes, what is it?
Do girls go out with you?
Oh, once in a while.
How do they explain you to their folks?
They usually say, Mama, see what I'll marry if you don't let me go out with Joe?
Well, Mr. Laurie, don't feel too bad. Remember, any girl who'd go out with you isn't worth having anyhow.
Look, Miss Duffy, I don't want to break up this courtship, but why don't you show Mr. Laurie around the joint? Entertaining.
Maybe I'll sing to him.
That kind of horror even he couldn't stand. Listen, take him over and show him the bird. Leave them amaze each other.
Okay, come on, Mr. Laurie.
Hey, Miss Archie?
Yeah, Eddie.
Crime on the premises.
Crime? What happened?
Somebody has stole a sandwich.
Perish forbid. From where?
From the free hors d'oeuvres counter.
Well, I just put up a sign. Free hors d'oeuvres. Do not touch. What a rat. Swiping a sandwich marked free hors d'oeuvres. Even a cop wouldn't do that. Mr. Laurie. That brings us up to date in the case of the missing Salami.
Yeah?
We got to find the crook now. You willing to take the case?
Frankly, Archie, it doesn't quite intrigue me.
Well, why not?
Well, you see, in the movies, the scene is usually more gruesome. You know, bodies on the floor and...
Bodies on the floor? Finnegan. Finnegan, lay down.
Oh, that's too gruesome.
Too gruesome, huh? You better lay face down, Finnegan. Now, let's start the cross-examination and grill some of these rats. And, Mr. Lowry, out of courtesy to you as our guest, I think you're the first rat we should grill.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, Lowry, now come clean. Where was you on the night of tonight?
Well, I came down here to Duffy's.
For what reason?
Well, I was out of my mind.
Out of your mind, huh?
The logical man to eat the sandwich.
Hey, wait, this is a criminal investigation.
It sure is. It sure is.
Now, my dear Mr. Lowry, can you explain the location of your whereabouts during the misdemeanor of the sandwich?
Well, when the sandwich was stolen, I was sitting on that chair next to the free hors d'oeuvre counter listening to the birds sing songs.
Sitting next to the counter listening to the bird, huh?
Yeah. But as you see, when I sit in this chair, I cannot possibly reach up to the sandwiches.
Well, that eliminates you. Next witness.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just call me Mr. D.A. Take the stand, please, for the third degree.
Oh, let me do this, Archie, please. Miss Duffy, where were you born?
223 and a half 3rd Avenue, 6 blocks from the Navy Yard.
He just asked you for your birthplace, not your hobby.
Now, Miss Duffy, were you ever convicted of a crime?
Oh, just once, a minor traffic violation.
And what was the violation?
Necking on an intersection.
Is that illegal?
Yeah, we weren't in a car.
Well, that's electing, huh? Proceed, prosecution.
Prosecution rests and needed.
Well, if we only had some clues, hey. Yeah. Hey, take a stand. Say, oh, yes, 3 times.
Oh, yes.
Okay, the court is now in session. Hey, do you recall the exact day that salami sandwich was made up?
I think it was Labor Day. Yeah. It must have been Labor Day because the previous Easter, everybody said, these sandwiches must be left over from Christmas.
What year was that?
Well, I remember Roosevelt had just been elected.
Yes?
And everybody said, Teddy's going to make a wonderful president.
Well, thank you, Eddie. Next witness, Clifton Finnegan. Now, tell me, Finnegan, did you steal the sandwich?
Doc, I got a lullaby.
You mean an alibi?
No, a lullaby. I was asleep in the chair.
Well, that dismembers you, Finnegan. Laurie, I'm stumped.
Well, there's only one thing left to do. Cherchez la femme.
Huh?
Cherchez la femme. Find a woman.
No, Laurie, let us get the case solved first. And then we can tell about these little guys.
Hey, Archie, I have an idea. What about that lady, you know, the bird that whistles the Star-Spangled Banner?
The Star-Spangled Banner? Europa. The case is solved.
Who done it, Arch?
Just a second. Mr. Lowry, your alibi was that you were sitting down and so couldn't reach the sandwich.
Yes?
Mr. Lowry, are you or are you ain't a patriotic citizen?
I am.
When the bird whistled the Star-Spangled Banner, what did you do? I'll tell you, you stood up and stole the sandwich. Peter Lowry, you're guilty. Justice has trumped. The case of the stolen salami is solved.
Time to leave Duffy's for the evening, but let's all meet here again next week when our guest will be Ida Lupino. And if you have a half hour next Tuesday evening at the same time, remember...
Duffy's with the elite meat Pete Archie speaking. Well, Duffy, yeah, that's right. Next week, Ida Lupino. I'm going to ask you to help me get Duffy's first reader scenario-ized for the movie. Yeah, well, Duffy, by the way, have you sent away for the book? Well, why don't you? It's only a dime. Huh? You'd rather wait for it comes out in a cheaper edition. Okay, good night, Duffy.
program came to you from Hollywood. This is the Blue Network.
Meat is the yardstick of protein foods because meat measures up to every protein need. The American Meat Institute presents The Life of Riley, a half hour with radio's friendliest family, and starring William Bendix as Riley. You've heard it said that meat has the right kind of proteins. Now, what does this mean? Well, simply this. Meat contains all 10 of the essential protein substances which the body must have for growth and tissue repair, and all the other purposes for which the body needs protein. Meat is called the yardstick of protein foods because meat measures up to every protein need. And now, The Life of Riley. Well, as we look in on the doings in the household of war worker Riley, it is early morning. And if we may be permitted to turn the calendar back, it is 2 days before Easter Sunday. Riley and Peg, his ever-loving, ever-patient spouse, are having breakfast in the kitchen.
Wow, 6 after 7 now. If I don't hurry, I'll miss the 10:30 bus.
You mean 7:30 bus?
About 7:30 to us, but the driver just came to California last week from Brooklyn, and he insists on using Eastern time.
Hey, Pop, I've been looking over these plans you made for my rabbit hutch.
Neat, huh?
Yeah, but, Pop, this is an awful small hutch.
Well, it's for only one rabbit. This is strictly a bachelor apartment.
Oh, Pop, can I have 2 rabbits? Just 2?
Junior, there is no such thing as just 2 rabbits.
Oh, I'm going in the yard and build part of it before school. I want to have it ready by Sunday.
Riley, we'll have an early dinner this evening. Don't forget, we have to do a little Easter shopping.
You know something, Peg? I don't think this Easter we ought to spend money on clothes we don't need. If people go around throwing their dough away on stuff they don't need, then the first thing you know, everybody in this country will be inflated.
No, I guess you're right, dear.
But don't forget, Dumpling, you're getting a new hat.
Oh, no, Riley, I could make the old one do.
Ah, no, you can't. Them cherries on it are getting pretty worn out. The pits are beginning to show.
Well, don't worry. I'm taking the cherries off and putting on some flowers.
Use flowers with short stems. Last night in the movie, I sat behind a lady with a hat that looked like a victory garden. The only thing missing was a gopher.
Well, good morning, my dear Riley. Good morning, my dear Margaret.
Uncle Baxter up at 7 o'clock? Pinch me, Peg. I must be asleep.
No, you're awake, Riley. It is Uncle Baxter.
Then pinch him. He must be asleep.
No, I assure you, my dear nephew, I'm fully awake. I've got a busy day ahead of me. Since Easter Sunday is almost upon us, I must procure my regalia. Top hat, cutaway, striped trousers, ascot.
Riley, hurry or you'll be late.
Oh, I got plenty of time.
Naturally, these clothes cost a bit of money. Riley...
You're right, Mom. I'm late. I got to be going.
So wait, Riley. If I can make the sacrifice of getting up at this ungodly hour, the least you can do is to listen to me. I have a plan.
Okay, I'm listening with an open mind and a closed pocket.
What's it all about, Uncle Baxter?
Well, the Inglewood Tribune is having a roving photographer on the boulevard on Sunday. He will snap the best-dressed man in the Easter parade, who will receive a prize of $200. I will be that man.
Fat chance. With a million other guys walking down the boulevard at the same time.
Oh, it's inevitable that I win, because with my new outfit, I will naturally cut the most striking figure. Besides, I shall bring pressure to bear on this photographer. I'll cut him in for 10% of my winnings.
Well, it would be nice if you could win $200.
Oh, that's only the beginning. Having been selected best-dressed man, I will be on the threshold of a lucrative career, posing for advertising. In every magazine, you'll see my photograph.
Yeah, and underneath it'll say, this old man didn't eat vitamins as a boy.
Riley, by investing a paltry sum, you'll be able to see me staring up at you from the pages of every magazine. You'll see Turnbull in morning clothes, Turnbull in afternoon clothes, Turnbull in evening clothes.
Uncle Baxter, I worked too hard for my dough. And I ain't spending any of it to make you a pin-up boy.
Very well. If you want to wreck my entire career, so be it.
Oh, come on, Uncle Baxter. Eat some breakfast.
No food, please. I shall go to my room. Before I go, I want to say one thing. I am hurt.
Oh. Riley, he must be hurt. He refused breakfast. He loves breakfast.
Ah, don't worry, Dufflin. Before I'm gone 5 minutes, he'll surrender. And the white flag he'll wave will be a napkin.
Mom, is dinner ready yet?
Yes, Junior, but your father's not home yet.
Mom, to tell the truth, I feel kind of sorry about Uncle Baxter.
Well, Babs, I'm ashamed of him. He's acting like a spoiled child. Oh, your father's coming now. Now, don't say anything or he'll get excited, and then the first...
Hiya, Dufflin. Hiya, kids.
Oh, hi, Daddy.
Hey, Peg, where is Inglewood's fashion plate?
Oh, Uncle Baxter's sulking in his room, Pop.
He is, huh?
He hasn't come out since 7 this morning.
He didn't even come out to listen to the racing results on the radio.
He didn't. He must be dead. Well, I got a little surprise for him that'll bring him back to life.
Riley, don't tell me you got him a new Easter outfit. Oh, that was sweet of you.
Well, I got to thinking what a lucky guy I am. I got a good job. I got a pretty nice wife.
Oh.
Couple of fair kids.
Daddy.
Just fair. Swell house. Poor old Uncle Baxter with nothing to think about except getting dressed up for Easter.
Oh, it was a very generous thought, dear.
And then, if he should win that $200 prize, and if he used it to buy a train ticket back east, we'd be rid of him.
Oh.
I figure it don't pay to be too selfish.
Uncle Baxter, come on out. Dad has some news for you.
Yes, if Mr. Hattie Carnegie will poke his head out, he will learn something.
Come on out, Uncle Baxter. Dinner's waiting.
Yeah, and if he don't shovel in some grub soon, that cutaway coat I got him won't fit.
Did someone call? I thought I heard voices babbling of cutaway coats. Oh, but you're empty-handed, Riley. Is this a ruse?
Oh, no, on the level, Uncle Baxter. You're getting a complete new outfit to wear Easter. It's on its way now.
Riley, bless you, my dear nephew, bless you.
All right, stop hugging me.
Riley, my boy, as soon as I win the $200, I will pay you every cent my wardrobe cost you.
Okay, Uncle Baxter. And you can make it in very easy payments because it didn't cost me nothing.
What? Riley, how in the world
I got it free off a Barney Tate to Classy Clothier. He rents out high-class clothes. But I told him the way Uncle Baxter wears clothes, he's a cinch to win the prize. And that's good advertising for Barney's business.
Rent a tune, eh? Well, it's better than nothing. Riley, I'll not let you nor good old Barney down.
Well, I'll get it. Hey, Pop, here's the man with the suit.
In here, Barney, right this way.
Well, I'll go see about the food. Come on, Barbara. Uncle Baxter wants to try on his clothes.
Call us when you're dressed.
Okay.
All right, gents. Here's Barney with the body trim. Now, who do I embellish?
Barney, I want you to meet Mr. Turnbull.
Charmed, Barney, charmed.
A little taller than the dummy I got in the store. Huh? I said you're a little tall in the height.
Yeah. And he's also a little heavy in the weight. But he sure can wear clothes, Barney. He'll win in a walk.
Oh, yes, of course I shall. Now, may I try on my togs?
Hey, wait a minute. My togs. This is strictly a loan out. Yeah, here's a striped pants.
Oh, splendid. Splendid. These trousers fit like a glove.
Yes, sir.
Now, slip off your shirt. That's it. And put Richard on.
Richard?
This Dickie.
I wouldn't think of wearing a dickie.
Put on the dickie, Uncle Baxter. The vest will come with the rest of the shirt that ain't there. Here, let me help you.
But, Riley, the end of it keeps popping up into my face.
Fine, but I thought you knew how to dress classy. What do you think that string is tied to the dickie for?
Well, sure, Uncle Baxter. Just slip the string down your pants leg and tie it around your ankle. You never read Esquire?
Now, put on this ascot tie. It's pre-tied in advance.
Look at it. A perfect knot.
The confounded tie won't stay in place.
Oh, lummox, use the piece of string on it.
Yeah, Uncle Baxter, all you got to do is tie it to the dickie.
If I have no shirt, just this dickie, what about cuffs?
Here they are. Catch them. Now, be careful of them ruby cufflinks. They set me back 6 bits.
How on earth will I keep these cuffs on?
Ain't you never dressed formal? There's a string attached to each cuff. Just tie it to the suspenders.
Certainly, you just tie it to the Hey, Bonnie.
Yeah?
There's no suspenders.
What do you think those strings are dangling from the pants?
That's it. Oh, gee, Uncle Baxter. With all them strings on you, you look like a bass fiddle.
Yep, and here's your coat. Come on, try it on. Thank you. There. Yeah, Riley, you was right. This guy's crawling with class.
Didn't I tell you? Baxter, if I didn't know it was you, I'd think you was an undertaker. You look great.
Thank you, Riley.
Well, here's the finishing touches. Gloves, cane, top hat.
There you are, Baxter. You're all dressed from tip to toe.
Well, I dare say I cut a dashing figure.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Now, there's one more thing.
Yeah, what's that?
The sign.
Sign? What sign?
This oilcloth sign which goes on your back. Wait, I'll unroll it. See? Classy, huh? Read it.
Barney's styles sure are nifty. Look like this for $13.50.
Yeah, concise, ain't it?
Yeah.
Turn around while I pin it on your back.
This is preposterous. Riley, I never thought you'd sink so low as to rent out your poor old uncle's back as a billboard.
Now, wait a minute, Baxter. I didn't know about the signs. Barney, you never said nothing about no signs.
You said if I loaned this school, I'd get advertising, didn't you? To me, that sign is advertising. And no leaning against walls, Turnbull. Keep walking, and not round-shouldered, neither. What I want is visibility.
Baxter Turnbull, a sandwich man for a second-hand store. Never!
Just for that crack, I'm blackballing you permanent in the outdoor advertising profession.
Now, Barney, can't we talk this over? Now,
come on, give me back the garment.
As fast as I can. Here, sir, and here, and here.
Gee, I'm sorry, Uncle Baxter.
Riley, how could you humiliate me this way?
I didn't know he wanted to hang a sign on your spine.
Retain those cuffs.
Here, Mr. West, take your shabby rags and go.
Yeah, beat it, Barney. Nobody's going to open up a second front on my uncle's back.
Oh, no? Well, I'm going, sports. I'm going, and hereinafter, don't contact me on my garments. I'm much too busy to have a go.
What happened, Barney?
I tripped on one of the strings.
Well, Riley, this was a grim jest, I must say.
I told you I didn't know about the sign. Why don't you get your own Easter clothes? Get a job, earn some dough, rent an outfit.
Ridiculous. I can't find employment in one day. Haven't I been looking for 32 years?
I could get you a job in 10 minutes, I bet you.
I accept the wager. Find me a job and I will take it.
Okay, wise guy.
But if you fail, Riley, it must be understood that you will buy me an Easter outfit.
It's a bet. In 10 minutes, I'll either make you a workhorse or I'll make you a clothes horse.
While Riley sets out to achieve the impossible, namely getting a job for Uncle Baxter, this is Ken Niles. I wonder how many millions of American families are having their traditional Easter dinner of baked ham today. You know, it's a grand and glorious feeling to be able to serve this fine Easter meat and know that it only costs 3 ration points per pound. It's good to be able to keep up those happy traditions of Easter. Traditions like these are the bridge between the present day and the past, between war times and peace. There's another bridge that I'd like to talk about, one that's carrying an extra load these days. In fact, during the first quarter of 1944, the extra load carried by this bridge was nearly double the average for the first quarter in the 5 years prior to 1940. This bridge is your meat industry. You, our armed services and friendly allies, are at one end of it, each with an appetite for meat and a need for the right kind of proteins that meat supplies so generously. At the other end of the bridge are millions of farmers and ranchers, livestock men who raise and fatten fine meat animals. Connecting those meat producers and you meat eaters is your meat industry, the meat packers who change meat animals into pork and beef, lamb and veal, ham, bacon and sausage, and your retail meat man who cuts them up into chops and roasts, slices and stews. In peace or war, no matter how heavy the demand, the bridge that your meat industry represents does its job, meeting the need of both our fighting forces and our civilians in the home. And now back to the life of Riley. It's a few minutes later, and Riley is on the phone trying to get Uncle Baxter that job, or else Riley loses his bet.
Well, Riley, you've made 7 calls and no job for me yet.
God, I almost got you a job at the delicatessen. Only Mr. Greensprinkle said he wouldn't hire any clerk. He'd have to weigh every time he wanted to take inventory.
Time is fleeting, Riley. Why not admit you've lost? You owe me my Easter tart.
I ain't licked yet. There must be somebody in town who would hire you. Somebody who don't know you.
Pardon my coming right in, Mr. Riley, but I got too much work and no time to do it in.
Well, Sam Graham, the cleaning man.
Yeah.
Is that my wife's dress she had cleaned?
Yeah, take a look at me. Established 22 years, same location, and I got to do all of my own delivering. I can't get no help.
You hear that, Baxter?
Surely, Riley, you don't think that
Sam,
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff to deliver for Easter and you need help, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have help.
Yeah.
In fact, you're desperate for some help.
Yeah.
How about hiring Uncle Baxter?
No, sir.
Now, wait a minute, Sam.
Riley, this is nonsense. I, a delivery boy?
You said if I got you a job, you had to take it. Now, look, Sam, don't be hasty. You need help bad.
Well, I know, but...
Uncle Baxter is a working fool. Look at him. Look at his arms. Like buggy whips, ain't they? I mean, they're long, see? By with arms that long, he could deliver 10 coat hangers full all at once.
Yeah, but how about his legs? Can they take it?
Legs? Why, just come over here and feel the muscles in his legs. Wait a minute now. There's got to be muscles here someplace.
Riley, don't pull up my trouser leg. I refuse to be haggled over.
Well, Mr. Riley, I'll tell you, he ain't no bargain, but like you say, I'm up against it, so... Okay, so I'll take him on for 1 day till Easter.
That's the stuff, Sam.
This is high bindery.
Uncle Baxter, leave me congratulate you. For 1 day at least, you have retired from unemployment.
Good morning, Riley, and happy Easter.
Oh, happy Easter, Dumpling.
Did you have a hard night at the plant, dear?
Yeah, but by giving up my sleep last night, I get all today off to do whatever I want to do.
You deserve a day off. What are you going to do?
Sleep.
Well, take a bath first and eat some breakfast.
No, I'll just take a nap on the couch here to get up enough strength to go to bed.
Oh, you don't want to lie down in those dirty old work clothes?
Okay, then just stick me up in a corner someplace. Oh, boy, I'm so tired, nothing could keep me awake.
Did you hear about Uncle Baxter?
Oh, what's he done now?
Well, it looks as if he made good delivering for Sam.
Did he make good enough to rent a suit for the Easter parade?
He must have. He's in his room getting all togged out in something. He's sure he's going to win that prize.
Well, children, how do you like my Easter ensemble?
Oh, it's lovely, Uncle Baxter. That cutaway coat and those striped trousers.
Riley, how do you like this yellow vest?
Oh, fine. It's the first time I ever seen a double-breasted sunset. Well, I gotta catch a little shut-eye on the couch.
Well, I'm off to give the populace a sartorial thrill.
Go out and win, Uncle Baxter.
Aviento, Riley. Aviento, babe.
Good luck, Uncle Baxter.
Good luck.
Oh, goodness. He's asleep already.
Hey, Mr. Riley. Mr. Riley, wake up, Mr. Riley. It's Sam Graham, the cleaning man.
I'm pleased to meet you. Come back next week.
Mr. Riley, I gotta see you, Mr. Riley.
Riley? Oh, I think he's here someplace. Riley? That's me.
Mr. Riley, this morning I wake up, my doorbell starts ringing. A client. He wants his cutaway coat. Then my doorbell starts ringing again. Another client. He wants his striped pants.
Somewhere lately I seen striped pants and a cutaway.
Yeah. Then my doorbell rings again. Another client. Where is his yellow vest?
A yellow vest? A yellow vest?
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me now. You mean Baxter delivered them clothes to himself?
Mr. Riley, if them clothes are lost...
Now, wait a minute, Sam. They ain't lost because I know just where they are.
Where?
On Uncle Baxter.
Riley, I'm holding you responsible. You made me hire him.
Sam, you got a car out there?
Yeah, my delivery truck.
Then deliver me down to the boulevard. I'll get them clothes back for you, Sam. And when I get through, Uncle Baxter will finish the Easter parade in his union suit.
Oh, stunning, Baxter. Simply stunning. In your case, the man makes the clothes.
Yes, my dear Matilda. When one has a large wardrobe like mine, I feel, by the way, you haven't seen one of those camera Johnnies about, have you? I so despise publicity.
Well, no, I haven't. Oh, Baxter, dear, are you busy Tuesday? I'm giving a tea to Lady Patricia Flick.
Tea, how jolly. I shall be delighted to nibble at a scone with you.
Oh, dear me. Some perfectly awful-looking men coming behind us in a delivery van.
Ignore them, shall we?
I think they're following us. The idea in a dry cleaner's van.
What? A dry cleaner? Let's walk a little faster, shall we?
Hey, wait a minute.
Baxter, is that person in those greasy overalls addressing us?
Let's hurry on.
Wait a minute, Mr. Yellowvest. I would like to have a few words with you alone.
Run along, my poor fellow. I'll see you later.
You'll see me now. If you don't, my uncle's gonna be in very big trouble.
Get the coat! Get the coat!
Is that strange man in the truck your uncle?
Oh, no, madame. He's after my uncle on account of my uncle borrows clothes that people don't want to lend him.
I'm sure if you give your uncle a chance, he'll return the clothes shortly. Come along, Matilda.
Get the bag! Get the bag!
Okay, Uncle Baxter, you can't take a hint, so take off them clothes.
Uncle Baxter? Mercy. Are you the one they need?
Certainly not.
Don't forget the pants! Don't forget the pants!
Take them off, Baxter.
Riley, please, I beseech you, in the street. Give me a
Riley?
little time.
Riley? Oh, you do know him. Well, never mind Tuesday's tea, Mr. Turnbull. You'd feel out of place. The guests are wearing their own clothes.
Hey, Riley, get him into the truck. Don't grab the lapels.
Riley. Riley, how could you disgrace me like this?
Come on, Baxter, or do I have to drag you? Get his feet, man.
Oh, wait, stop. Here comes the cameraman. I can still win the prize. Riley, take your hands off me.
Okay, but just for the picture.
Oh, boy, this is the picture of the day. Hold it, Jim.
I'm ready.
Smile, Baxter.
He got it. I sure did, mister. And if you want to see it, buy the next edition of the Inglewood Tribune.
This is the corner, Pop. A truck drives by here every night and drops off bundles of papers.
Excellent. I'll get the first copy.
No, I'll get the first copy. It's my nickel.
But it's my picture. I won the contest.
Hey, here comes the trick now.
Yes, and I could certainly use that $200 prize.
Get back, Mom. They heave 'em out without stopping.
There's the bundle. And there's my picture right on the front page.
Wait a minute. I'll cut the screen. Yes, sir. There's your picture, all right.
And here's the story beside it.
Hey, wait a minute. Look, I'm in the picture, too.
Yes, you might have ruined everything, Riley. As it is, you mar the effect of my appearance, standing there in front of me in your shabby work clothes.
Read what the story says,
But
Brad.
it says, picture at left shows this Easter's best-dressed man. The winner of the Tribune's $200 prize is a man in overalls. If this war worker will call at the Tribune office, he will receive his check. Peg, you read it. I'm getting dizzy.
Hot ziggity!
Let's see. In a country at war, every minute on the job counts. And because this citizen's work-stained garb shows that he had been at his job yesterday, instead of strutting like a peacock and wearing out valuable shoe leather, the judges have decided that he is their unanimous choice for this year's best-dressed man. Oh, Riley, isn't it wonderful?
Oh, yes, it's great. I can see it all now. A whole new career. My picture in all the magazines. Riley in morning overalls. Riley in afternoon overalls. Riley in evening overalls. Riley in beach overalls.
Well, don't go away, folks. The Rileys will be back in just a moment. Here is a message regarding the food on your table that the American Meat Institute is glad to bring you at the request of our government. Your today's dinner was made possible by the skill and labor of men and women on American farms. Much of this is year-round labor, feeding and caring for meat animals, tending dairy herds, keeping the land in shape for the growing season. But as the sun creeps steadily farther north and the days warm, the routine of planting, growing, and harvesting begins again throughout the land. The 30 million men, women, and children regularly living and working on farms, no matter how great their devotion to their country and their calling, can't do the job alone. 4 million extra workers, 500,000 more than last year, will be needed to lend them extra hands at some time or other in this 1944 growing season. So when the call comes from your county extension agent for high school boys and girls to enroll as Victory Farm volunteers, for women who will train and enroll as members of the Woman's Land Army, or when a friend or relative on a farm asks your help for a week or for the summer, be sure that your community and you are ready to do your share in helping to meet the nation's wartime food goals. Feed for farm animals, food for your table, food for our fighters depend on this year's crops. All statements regarding the nutritional value of meats made on this program are accepted by the Council on Foods and Nutrition of the American Medical Association.
$200 for not changing my clothes. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Correction, Riley. It seems you're a monkey's nephew. Well, the old order changes. Oh, well. Riley, let me be the first to congratulate you. Your greasy hands, sir.
Uncle Baxter, that spoke like a man. Shake. And any time you want to dress up in real style after this, just look me up.
You invite me to borrow your clothes?
Sure. I always got an extra pair of them overalls handy. And Uncle Baxter, everybody looks swell in overalls.
Riley, starring William Bendix and sponsored by the American Meat Institute, will be back next week at this same time. William Bendix appears on this program by arrangement with Hal Roach. The Life of Riley was directed by Don Bernard with music by Lou Kozloff and came to you from Hollywood. This is Ken Niles saying, see you next week.
The makers of Postum, the favorite mealtime drink in 3 million American homes, present your favorite radio friend, Lum and Abner. Has this ever happened to you, ladies and gentlemen? You hop into bed, all set for a good long sleep. And then, instead of sleeping, you turn and toss restlessly. The clock strikes 11, 12, 1, and you're still staring into the darkness. Something is causing that sleeplessness. And in your case, maybe that something is coffee. Although there are many people who can drink coffee without any ill effect whatsoever, there are many others who can't. And if you're one of them, switch to Postum. Postum contains no caffeine or any other stimulant to disturb your sleep. It's made only of whole wheat and bran, skillfully roasted and slightly sweetened. Delicious? You've never tasted such rich, mellow flavor. A flavor that is Postum's own. A flavor that has made Postum the favorite mealtime and bedtime drink in 3 million American homes. Postum is economical, too. It costs less than 1/2 cent a cup. Get Postum from your grocer. Drink it and see if you don't sleep better and feel better. Now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Lum and Abner are now busy making preparations for the first picture of the Pine Ridge Motion Picture Company. Lum is writing the story for the picture himself, and the old fellows plan to start production just as soon as they can locate a second-hand movie camera. As we look in on the little community today, we find Grandpappy Spears over at the Jot 'em Down store discussing the situation with Abner. Listen.
Oh, I don't know, Grandpap. I'm getting sort of disgusted with the whole thing.
Here, huh?
Oh, my, yes. Lum ain't hit a lick of work here in the store since we started this moving picture business.
Well, he better stay with this store where he knows he can make a living.
Sure.
Trouble with Lum, his ideas don't fit him. They're way yonder too big for him.
Oh, yes, sir, sure. He's talking about making a big war picture now.
War picture?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to make moving pictures.
No, well, it's a moving picture of a war of some kind.
Oh, yeah.
Going to have an army in it and everything else.
Well, where are you going to get all the actors, the soldiers, no?
I don't know. Don't reckon he stopped to think about that yet. All he's thinking about is what a hero he's going to make out of himself. He's writing a story himself, you know.
Lum writing a story?
Yeah, he was in here this morning.
Never know he ever wrote one.
Well, he never wrote nothing. I had to sit here and listen to him tell me all about it. One place in there where he captured a whole army by himself.
For the land's sake.
It rides a big white horse. Well, facts is, that's where he's at now. Went out to see if he could buy one summers.
Well, you ain't ready to start making a picture yet, are you?
Of course not. Ain't even got the moving picture camera yet. But all he's thinking about so far is how he's going to look himself.
Naturally.
And that Catherine Brogan. I think he's got her a queen of some country, and then he's going to marry her so he can be the king.
Why, she ain't no queen.
Well,
she lives in at the county seat.
He's writing that she is, though, in his story.
Oh, in the story,
Yeah, make out like she is.
Well, ain't you going to be in the picture at all?
Yeah, he's got some little old part picked out for me. I'm supposed to be his orderly, I think he called it. Got to wait on him hand and foot, keep his boots greased, all that stuff.
Well, I just wouldn't do it. Yeah, you've got a half interest in the company, ain't you, yourself?
Well, sure I have. Got just as much stock as he has.
Well, I'd stand up for my rights then.
Well, that's what I'm going to do, too. The more I think about it, the madder I get. I ought to be a general, too, if he's going to be one.
Why, of course you had. As you got... Well, Dick Huddleston. Here comes Dick Huddleston.
Oh, yeah. Oh, me, I hope he ain't looking for a job acting, too. Got to where that's about all anybody comes in here for anymore, see if they can't get a job in the moving picture.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of one reason I dropped over. Thought maybe you might be...
come in, Dick.
Yeah, howdy, Richard.
Well, howdy. You fellas seem to be taking things easy.
Yeah, just sitting here visiting. What's new, Richard?
Oh, not much, Grandpap. Kind of quiet over at the store. Just told the wife to stay there and look after things. I want to see Lum.
You wanting a job, too?
A job?
Yeah, in that moving picture.
Oh, no, not me, Abner. That's what I want to talk to Lum about, though. You fellas are not serious about this moving picture business, are you, Abner?
I reckon so. It's Lum's idea. I just sort of drug into it myself.
Well, where are you going to get the money?
Why, we cleared better than $1,200 out of that beauty contest we put on.
And you better keep that money. That's what you better do.
Well, that's what I tried to tell Lum, but he wouldn't listen to me. Says we'll make a fortune out of this.
Why, you fellas can't make moving pictures here in Pine Ridge, Abner. In the first place, $1,200 wouldn't be a drop in the bucket.
Wouldn't, huh?
Why, of course not. And even if you did have the money, what do you fellas know about making pictures?
Well, we was out there in Hollywood and seen them making them. Well, fact is, we was in one of them.
Well, yeah, but you can't compete with Hollywood, Abner. Who would you sell it to after you got it made?
Why? Well, I don't know. I ain't heard Lum say. Some moving picture show, I reckon. He about the best praise.
And feller in there at the Lyric Theaters in there at the county seat would more than likely buy one from you, Abner.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Grandpap.
Feller Gwaltney, or whatever his name is.
And that way we could see it ourselves. Just make a deal where we could get in free.
See if you can get me in, too, Abner.
Well, now, Abner, it's none of my business. Now, you do as you like. It's your money. But I'm telling you right now, if you spend that $1,200 trying to make a moving picture, well, you're going to lose every nickel of it.
Well, don't talk to me about it. I was again it, too, but Lum's got his head set.
Now, where is Lum?
Out trying to find a white horse.
White horse?
Yeah, he's going to be a general in this picture he's aiming on making, and he's going to ride a big white horse and carry a flag and a sword and stuff.
For goodness sake. You don't know where I could find him, huh?
Yeah, I was just thinking, Richard, he might be over about Snake Hogan's place. He's got a few head of horses over there now.
Yeah, well, I'll see if I can locate him. I'd like to talk to him about this thing before he goes too far and talk him out of it if I can.
Well, I wish you would, Dick. I'm disgusted with the whole business myself.
Well, if I don't locate him, why, I'll drop back after a while, Abner.
Yeah, all right, Dick. So long.
So long. He never appeared to think much of that, did he?
No, but he'll never talk Lum out of it, though, I'll tell him that. You know Lum when he gets his head set.
Oh, my, he's awful stubborn-headed.
Yeah.
You'll be around here one of these days, though, and make yourself a lot of money, though.
Yeah, wait a minute, that's all right. Oh, wait, somebody else wanting a job acting, I reckon. Hello? Got him down, store. No, this is Abner. Lum ain't here. I don't know. Huh? Oh, yeah, he is. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about you having one, Charlie.
Having what, Abner? What you
hold the phone, Charlie. White horse, he's got over. Be quiet, don't bother. Yeah. Well, I'll tell him when he comes in.
See, I seen a white horse the other day somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Don't recollect where it was.
All right, I'll tell him.
Shoot Heath, I believe it was.
Not at all.
No, weren't he?
Goodbye. Tony Ramos said he heard Lum was looking for a white horse. I'd forgot about that in the
You mean that old swayback he drives that spring wagon?
I reckon so. That's the only one I know of him having.
Oh, well, he couldn't be fitting for moving pictures. That critter's 20-year-old if he's a day.
No, but he's white, and that's what Lum said he's looking for.
Of course, feller might take and pad that swayback to where a saddle had kivered up. Wouldn't show nothing.
Fill that up with hay and then put a saddle and blanket over it and never tell he's sway back.
I put a sack of feed on there first.
And make a good horse for a general. Get down that sway back, the bullets never could get to him.
You know, that's what Lum needs to if he's going to do much scrapping. Wait a minute, there he is now, ain't he?
Where?
Getting out of the car out there in front.
Getting out of the... Oh, yeah, Lum. I thought you were still talking about the horse. Yeah, him and Cedric. Cedric's hanging around Lum trying to get a job. Well, Cedric ought to be pretty good in moving pictures. He always struck me as sort of a comical boy. Yeah. Trouble is, though, he don't aim to be comical. Starts putting on while he gets downright silly. I know. Oh. Well, howdy, Lum. Dick Huddleston's just in here looking for you, Lum. Did you see him? No, never. Me and Cedric been out to Shade Abernathy's place to look at a horse. Well, Charlie Reynolds just now called up, said he'd sell you that in a his'n, but said it was such a pet it'd be just like parting with one of the family. Mm-hmm. And what do you want for him? They always say that about him. Well, he never said. Just told me to tell you that he would sell him. Okay, make a note of that, Cedric. Just a moment. Just put down and see Charlie about horse. What was Dick wanting? Why, well, I'll just wait. Let him tell you. He said he'd be back. Make a note of that, too, Cedric. Just a moment. Just hired Cedric this morning for my secretary and treasurer, the secretary. Well, good for you, Cedric. I got a wire from that Kodak company, or camera company out there in Hollywood. Said they had a second-hand outfit they'd sell us for $300. So I wired back and told them to go ahead and ship it. Did, huh? And told them to send some film, about enough to make a whole moving picture with, told them. Oh, you done ordered it, huh? Oh, yeah. That's the only thing holding us up now. I might not got the story all finished. Yeah, I know. You told me all about it here this morning. I never told Grandpap, though. Well, Abner told me about it, Mom. Yeah. Well, how does it sound? Well, all right, I reckon. I don't know nothing about them things, of course. Well, it's all just working out fine. Well, Dick says he don't think we're going to have enough money to make a moving picture with, Lum. He says he thinks you're crazy to try it, too. Yeah, they always say that. Always a bunch of doubting Toms. Said Columbus was crazy whenever he started out to discover America, too. Said Edison was crazy when he invented the graphophone. Said whoever invented the telephone was crazy. They always say that. That's the best sign I've had yet that this is going to be a success. I hope everybody starts saying that about me. Well, they already have. Well, good. Who said that about me? Well, I've heard a lot of them. Going around talking about me to my back, huh? Well, I've heard them say it.
You want me to make a note of that, Mr. Lum?
No, Cedric, no. Granny, as I see right now, this bunch of ignoramuses around here ain't got no confidence in me. I'll show them. They've done said too much. I'll make this first picture the biggest thing they've ever had yet. Make the birth of a nation look like a two-reel comedy. Make a note, Cedric. Get me 100 elephants. Get me 200 camels, 1,000 men. No, Granny's make it 10,000. These doubting Toms has woke up a genius.
Well, Lum seems to be about the only one who has any confidence in his ability as a producer.
Oh, please finish your milk, darling. You know the doctor says you ought to drink lots of milk.
Does that ever happen to you, mothers? If it does, here's a friendly tip. Give your child milk in a form he'll beg for. Postum made with milk. For it's so delicious, any child will cheerfully drink his full quota of milk every day. Postum not only tastes good and smells good, but it has that grown-up look that children love. Made of whole wheat and bran, skillfully roasted and slightly sweetened, Postum contains no caffeine or other stimulant that could cause sleeplessness, indigestion, or nervousness. And unlike sweet cloying drinks, Postum does not take away a child's appetite for solid foods. Get Postum from your grocer tomorrow, and when mealtime comes around, instead of plain milk, serve a cup of steaming hot Postum made with milk. And just watch your youngster go for it. Lou Crosby speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.